And now we wrap up this anime season's most cyberpunk anime, Dimension W, and as an obvious cyberpunk fan, I must admit that this anime really did test my patience at times. I was expecting this to be one of the best anime of the season and that it would revitalize interest in the cyberpunk genre, but no, this anime turned out to be pretty average and forgettable stuff in the end. I know, right? What the hell? So in episode 12 of Dimension W, Loser fights off the tentacle monster thing who is being controlled by Seimei, whilst Mira enters Kiyoma's mind in order to piece together Kiyoma's broken memory. It turns out that the Genesis thing that Kiyoma had was already destroyed by Kiyoma because he and his wife decided to. I know, it makes no sense whatsoever because Kiyoma's wife was unconscious at the time in an operation, so how did both she and Kiyoma choose to destroy the Genesis? Anyway, with Genesis destroyed, Seimei goes crazy. Lou wraps up the tentacle monster with cable and Seimei is thrown into a random black hole by Kiyoma, and that is the end of that. So yeah, this episode, the last episode of this series of Dimension W, had no substance whatsoever. Yeah, the special effects were good, and I still believe in the relationship between Kiyoma and his wife, but what else was there to cling onto? There was nothing going on here besides maybe lots of special effects getting constantly thrown at your face. Dimension W has ended on quite the shallow note indeed, guys. In terms of my thoughts for this series of Dimension W, I think the way it started off was quite brilliant. I mean, the first episode is one of the best first episodes of an anime that I have seen in quite some time. It set everything up in the way I wanted everything to be set up. Kiyoma and Mira meet and they get illegal coils from the bad guys with good old violence. That's a simple yet effective setup for a cyberpunk anime, right? The animation studio should totally follow all that through, right? Nope and nope. The setup was great and Kiyoma and Mira are interesting enough characters, but everything that made the first episode so great went out the window pretty quickly. The relationship between Kiyoma and Mira vanished a few episodes in. The setup of the two getting illegal coils from the bad guys vanished surprisingly early on in this series. Hell, they even abandoned the interesting cyberpunk city for a depressing dead island to place the final act. Are you kidding me? Now, I get that repetitive anime does not always work, but I think in this case, if every episode of Dimension W had Kiyoma and Mira getting illegal coils in a cyberpunk city from the bad guys, and every episode presented new and interesting challenges for them, then I actually would have given a shit about this anime. That way, I would know what to expect in a good way, and I'd be excited for the challenges that the two characters would face in each episode. Would the bad guy with the illegal coil have some kind of unique power? Would a certain mission expose Kiyoma's and Mira's flaws, if they have any, as collectors? That would have been more interesting than watching an anime like this, the one that we got, which has zero focus and zero payoff. I say all this because Kindaiichi Returns, an awesome mystery anime which just finished this week, followed a formula for every arc that it had, and it really worked, and I just know that Bandai Visual could have made the formula that it set up in episodes 1 and 2 of Dimension W work for every episode or arc to make a great overall series. I probably won't be reviewing the second series of Dimension W now, as even though this series was not terrible and I liked all the characters and the opening credit sequence had an epic song and dance, this anime just turned out to be really shallow, and it just got bogged down with all this unnecessary science fiction conspiracy bullshit throughout. I don't need all that conspiracy bullshit. I need to see Kiyoma and Mira working together and kicking ass all the time, but I hardly ever got that. Oh well, it's back to the mecha anime for me, 2.5 stars out of 5.